stuff. So, as you can see, we are still deep underground in the burrows below the forest surrounding the town of Willowdale. And you have retrieved the statue of Hugo, which you're aware, with sufficient access to magic, you will be able to restore Hugo to being a living, breathing doggo. But you do not personally have that capacity, so you will possibly need to find someone who can perform such a miracle. Hang on, I'm about to get coffee, and I'm kind of excited. Like, my body is like... Thank you very much. We decided to deal with the veggie... I almost said it again, Yerk. Stop this. Yes, you've decided to deal with the infestation of the Vegapygmies. For people who don't know what a Vegapygmy is, I'll bring up an image real quick because I think that's important for context to know exactly what you're dealing with at this point in time. I will bring it up because it's very hard to properly explain what a Vegapygmy is. But essentially, they are fairly small, humanoid-looking plant creatures with strange, almost amphibious eyes. There's a picture. Perfect picture. Okay. 1 second. So, the creatures that you've been fighting here. On the right, and then they have these almost canine, at points frog-like appearing creatures that they keep with them, these guardians called Thornies. Sorry, Tilly. I know that's a little bit of a trigger one. Okay, so kicking things off. I'm going to zoom out a little bit. You know, you have explored all the way down in this direction, which is where there was a creature lurking in darkness that you can assume from context is responsible for the petrification of all of these creatures down here. A very strange, unsettling collection of different beings that would wander into its path. There is also a pathway further up in this direction here. Let's do a very quick label here so that you know which one is which. So we'll call this... Did that not appear? Hang on. We'll call this 1, right? So this is pathway 1. There we go. Okay, so pathway 1. Pathway 2. And there's also pathway 3. Oh! Dear Kobe, thank you so much for the sub, dude. I appreciate it. Welcome back to the Cozy Club. Sorry that the alerts are muted right now because of VOD stuff, but I really, really appreciate it, and I hope you feel that. Thank you for continuing to support the channel. Okay. So you currently have 3 unexplored pathways. Which one would you like to take? I'm opening up the vote now. So as I said earlier, you can vote throughout the game to decide what you want to do. And the way you do that is by following this process. Essentially, you type !vote space and then oh, that's okay. Yeah, I don't mind if the alert shows up, Herb, but I just don't want it to have sound. But thank you for pointing that out, just to remind me. Where are we? Yes, so it works by typing !vote space and then whatever your choice is going to be. And the vote is never constrained to like pre-selected options. You can type whatever you want, which sometimes can result in situations where chat decides they want to give a dangerous monster a sandwich as a peace offering. And sometimes that works. Not always, though. Thank you, Max. Hello, Bella. Okay, so as we can see, Pathway number 2 is the one that is most voted for, so that is the path that we are going to take. Pretty much every decision that is made is done through the voting process to give everyone a feeling of their choices. So, closing the vote. Okay, so let's have a look here. As you get to this narrow corridor, you're increasingly becoming aware that these tunnels, some of them much, much larger, some of them clearly built by or created by some natural formation of rock, or at times the tunneling of a larger creature, judging by the creatures that you met earlier on in the day, possibly some of these dangerous, violent purple worms burrowing their way through rock and soil. But some of them seem to be a bit more purpose-made, possibly by the Vegapygmies themselves. Some of these spaces that it's quite clear that only a creature of that size would really be able to use these pathways effectively. This is such a path as it narrows down to a point, almost like a tactical choke area where larger enemies would struggle to pass through. So I'm just going to ask you really quickly, are you going to scout alone, or are you going to all travel as a group? You are aware that you, far more than any of your other allies, are much better at scouting undetected. Traveling as a group does offer you security if something goes wrong, but there's a higher chance that you will be discovered before trying to launch any kind of surprise attack on an enemy you might find. So, as you can see, again, you can type whatever you want, but people they understand how the system works a little bit now, so there are going to be some things that people kind of just pick up on and choose. So in this case, it's alone or as a group, right? I will prompt you throughout the game with different potential choices you could make, but I want to make it really, really clear as we go through the game tonight, for all the people who are new here, that I'm just suggesting things. What's really, really important to the integrity of the game itself and to me as a dungeon master is that you feel like you can make your own choices at any given time. Alone or a group? Okay, so we used to do this by doing a tiebreaker, by doing it like first to 5, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to roll a dice. And if it is 10 or over, it's option 2, or as a group. Or if it's... actually, is there a better way to do this? It needs to be more binary than that. Let's do 1 to 10. No, 1 to 9 and 11 to 20. If it's 10, we reroll. Okay, there we go. So, oh no, hey, Elok, no worries. It's great to see you. Nothing's really happened so far. You're fine. Okay, so we're gonna go... Okay, so going alone then, you decide to travel onwards. I am going to need a stealth check from you, my friends. So, we're opening up our first dice roll of the night. You can enter using ! dice. This will enter you into a random giveaway. Again, you do not need to know how to play Dungeons & Dragons to get involved at any point in the game. This will assign a dice roll to you if you win, and then the dice roll bot will allow you to give you permission to roll, and it will give us a result, and then we add our applicable modifiers to stealth or to whatever we happen to be rolling. So I give people a couple of seconds to enter. Mobile users are a little bit behind. Okay, I'm closing it up. Hello, Scrit. Okay, Tolkir, please hit us with our ! roll to kick us off. This has a +9 to the roll. Okay, so a big old 26. You move off into the darkness alone. Your torch currently extinguished. You do have the ability to see in the dark. You have a feature called Dark Vision, which means that you can see most of the things in your path, but it is in complete grayscale and lack of color. So, moving on then. Let me reveal the Fog of War. The path continues on, not really narrowing, but nonetheless curving as you disappear out of the line of sight of your allies. So torch adds color and vision distance. More or less, yeah. Also, there are certain kinds of checks that are more difficult if you're in complete darkness. Shouldn't we set up an emergency signal? You don't have one. So that's something you can think about. You can discuss it amongst yourselves if you want. Eventually, the cavern begins to open up once again after a short distance. You're only about 40 feet or so away from your allies. They're not terribly far away, and you feel as though at this point in time, at the very least, if something goes wrong, then they'll know something's going to go wrong. Help! Help me! Yo, so kite. Good to see ya. Okay, so as you peek out into this room, taking cover behind the loose rock and rubble, you can see what is very clearly a sort of fungal garden that almost entirely encompasses this room. Standing atop the largest mushroom in the room appears to be some kind of Vegapygmy authority figure, standing there, looking over, observing the room and the thornies which you're now making out, moving through and bending some of the mushroom stalks as they go. You can also see on the far side of the room, over onto your right, there are numerous stacked cages, though it's hard from this distance and in this darkness to really get a sense of what might be within them. But you can hear the occasional rattling of cages, and you can smell all sorts of strange scents filling the room. There's the obvious kind of earthiness of the fungus completely surrounding this space, but there's also kind of like a dampness, and there's also a fetid acidity in the air, and like almost like a rotting meat smell as well, some kind of scent of decay. These creatures, none of them seem to have noticed you. You feel fairly confident at this point in time that your scouting has been successful. As you look up to the left, you can see that this room also seems to have some kind of secondary platform off to the left-hand side, though from the angle where you're currently perching out of sight, you can't tell exactly what is up there, as it is about 15 to 20 foot up on an elevation. So, what would you like to do? I'm going to open the poll. I might need to close it first. That's probably a good idea. Hang on. Let me just reset it. So, obviously, you could try and launch some kind of sneak attack, or you could return to your group and try and ambush them all together. So, it could be something along the lines of something like regroup, or attack, or something like that. Or return to group. There you go. So, you can go with that one. The way that it works is you can essentially, if you decide after voting that you want to change what your vote is for, you know, whether some new information comes to light, or you decide that somebody else phrased something better than you did or whatever, you can actually just vote again. So if you vote a second time, it will just replace your previous vote with your new one. So if you voted for, like, eat sandwich, and you decide, actually, I don't want to do that. Instead, I want to shoot my bow, then you just vote for shooting your bow, and it removes the previous vote. Okay, so choosing to regroup then, you move back to your party and start to discuss strategy. So relaying the information that you had gleaned about this space, your party members begin to discuss strategy with you. Whatever this space is, between the three of you, you decide this is very clearly a central hub of the Vegapygmy infestation. And despite none of the present individuals being a fan of any kind of extermination, there is definitely something that is going awry in this space, and the russet mold, as it's called, this deadly infectious disease, if you continue to let it grow, then there is a very real risk of it infiltrating the town or infecting the town and causing a very serious outbreak. So, what do you want to do as a group? Are you choosing to ambush? Violence, hands up. It's always a good one. I should put my wrist brace on. Tatake! Yeah. I'm not sure everybody will understand that one, though. What condition are our party members in? Okay, so to give you stock of the situation, as it is now, everybody is at full health. You have expended some resources, which, now that I'm remembering, I need to open my resources one for Valandria. What is this? There we go. Lovely. So, going with the sneak attack then. Can we join them? I mean, you could try and negotiate if you want. I'm not going to stop you. Do what you want. Okay. Let me just move this over here. Close that. Brilliant. Okay. So, I'm going to need another stealth check from you, and I'm also going to roll for the rest of the group to see how well everybody does. So, enter with exclamation mark dice to do our second dice roll for stealth to see how well everyone travels through this space undetected. Let's roll for our NPCs. Trenk gets an 11. Roga gets a 14. And Alden gets a 20. Okay, so Ruby Vance with the check bonus as well. Thank you very much, Ruby. So what this essentially does, we have channel points specifically for these streams. There's a little bit of a narrative aspect to them, but mechanically speaking, for the next ability check, which is the one we're doing right now, it will have an extra +2, so you'll have a +11 to the check. Thank you very much, Ruby. So, closing the giveaway. Shadow Squared, please hit us with that roll with a modifier of +11. It's going to be chonky. Okay, so with a dirty 20, as we call it here, you feel very confident. No, 20. Yeah, dirty 20. Okay. So, you kind of all ready yourselves in the darkness here, forming a line of sorts where you all kind of hold on to the other's shoulder and travel through, as you and your owlbear companion Alden are the only ones with dark vision. Roga is currently holding the statue of Hugo. I'm just organizing the tokens here. That'll have to do. As you're all readying yourselves to travel through darkness, again, you start to feel this strange exfoliation in your skin, and it's almost like a strange spirit energy is leaking from your body, and it starts to wrap around your feet, and then traveling along the ground kind of wraps itself around those of your allies' boots as well. It doesn't seem as though they notice this. You're the only person who seems to be able to perceive this strange spectral mist that you at times over the last couple of months seem to be manifesting, not necessarily of your own volition, but for the most part seems to be aiding you in your travels as you move through. Roga, your turtle companion, passionately guarding this statue of Doggo. Doggo defense. Okay. So, you all approach unnoticed, it seems, by this Vegapygmy chief. You are aware of at least 3 other hostiles within this room. As you all ready your ambush. So, we're going to go with the usual strategy that you'd be doing last time. No reason to change it, which is that when combat breaks out, you are going to light your torch, and then everybody is going to take their attacks. So what I'm going to ask you to do first is we're going to do our initiative check. So initiative essentially is the roll that we make to determine the order of combat as it breaks out. So Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition, and every other edition before that pretty much, works on a turn-based system. So what that means is that we roll to see who acts first, and then it goes down the list in terms of who reacted the most quickly. And then when it gets to the end of that list, it goes back to the top and it just cycles around and around and around. Every round takes about 6 seconds, give or take, in terms of in-game time. So everything operates kind of in slow-mo, but in the game itself, in the world itself, every round is happening in about 6 seconds. I like to think it's more towards 10, but you need an exact number for some of the game mechanics. Okay, so closing the giveaway. Tolkier, please hit us with exclamation mark roll to see what our initiative is. And I will prepare this sheet. 8 plus 5, I believe we're at now. Yeah, plus 5. So that brings us to 13. So I am going to enter our initiatives here. 13, 13. And then we let the other ones be randomly assigned. That's great. Okay, so initiative has been determined. Lucky 13, let's go! Alright, so I am going to put on some combat music as shit's about to get real. Whoa. Okay, so because you have approached these enemies undetected, you will get what's called a surprise round, which is essentially during the first round of combat, your side of the combat, your team, all gets to act, but the enemies do not. So we start at the top then with Trenk, who, squeezing through the gap, moves out into the space, attempting to get the attention of some of these enemies. Unfortunately, he can't get quite close enough to attack anybody with his movement, but he is going to hold his action to attack if something comes... she's going to go to here. He's going to hold his action to attack if anything comes within range. We then have your turn, chat. So, starting at the top of your turn, I am going to open up the voting bot. What would you like to do first? So, in combat in Dungeons & Dragons, you typically have 3 things that you do. You can move, you can use your action to do an attack, and you also sometimes have something called a bonus action which you can do, which will sometimes augment your attack in some way or do something special like allowing you to travel faster. At this point in time, our characters are relatively low level, so what they do is fairly simple. You have a number of targets here available to you. You have a longbow that is currently drawn. Now I need you to essentially tell me what you would like your character to do. So as you can see people doing, they're choosing to use their turn to attack with the bow. Vote bow attack 1, which is perfect. So that tells me you're using your bow, you're attacking, and it's against target number 1 on the screen. So that's this one here. Hunter's Mark is a bonus, right? Yes, Hunter's Mark is a bonus, which will expend a spell slot, a limited resource you have, in order for you to do a little bit more damage on your strikes. Okay, so with that pretty unanimous, at this point in time, you can Hunter's Mark on your next turn if you like to. 4 looks like a skeleton. It's not a skeleton. It's a Vegapygmy made of plants, but You do know that the Thornies, these strange canine amphibian hybrids almost, these seem to take less damage from bow attacks. Okay, so you attack number 4. So I need you to give me an attack roll, chat, with your bow. Can we light our arrow? You could try and set something up like that if you wanted to, yeah. But you may need to discuss that a little bit earlier on the next turn, maybe. Okay, Ruby with an attack bonus as well. So this will give us, again, an extra +2 to the attack roll. Ruby with the big buffs. Okay, I'm going to close the giveaway. Okay, Bean. Bean, please give us our attack roll with our longbow. We'll see what we get. This has a +8 to hit. Okay, another dirty 20. Let's get it. So, readying your longbow, you pull back the string, feeling confident that you can arc the arrow upwards at an angle where it should strike this Vegapygmy atop this giant fungal mushroom. You can just see from the chest up over the top of its ridge. Your strike is swift, true, and silent as the arrow streaks through the air, slamming into the creature's back. Was it 14? Oh, 22, my bad. Well, I mean, it's still a hit. A hit's a hit, guys, okay? Stop being picky. Take the dub. So, with this, accompanied by your new braces of archery that you just managed to loot earlier in the day, and the spirit energy infusing your bow as it courses down the bowstring, creating an almost imperceptible trail in the air of smoke as it travels, which you're pretty confident only you can see. It strikes true, and you do 12 points of damage to... Oh, you don't actually. Okay, so as your arrow hits, once again, you notice that this creature, much like the creatures around it, seems to have some kind of resistance to piercing damage, as it seems to cut a couple of the vines that make up its body, forming tendons along its makeshift barky bones. Doesn't really have enough flesh to really sink into and do a whole lot of damage. So it's still a good strike, but you're aware that your bow may not be as impactful in the situation as you would like. Mark that down. Rigged? No. I would never. Chibi, thank you very much for gifting a sub to the community. I really, really appreciate that. Wigglytuff, welcome to the Cozy Club. I'm not sure if you're here, but Chibi Acer, thank you very, very much. I really appreciate that. Thank you for the support. They Overwatch nerfed our bow? A little bit. You have a sword, a short sword, that you carry with you at all times. So you'll need to get closer, but at least now you know. This particular Vegapygmy seems to inherit some of the characteristics of the Thornies around it, unlike the ones that you had been fighting earlier. That brings us to your bonus action, which you still have on your turn. So you could use your Hunter's Mark to do more damage on your next turn, or you could order your Owlbear companion to move up and start attacking. So Owlden does not do anything until ordered as a bonus action. What would you like to do? In this case, because of the way that the action economy works, the mechanics of the game, you can't do both. You can either choose to mark with your spell, or you can order your Owlbear companion to attack. So I'll let a couple of votes go in. Wiggly, thank you for stopping by to express your gratitude. I really appreciate you doing that, and I hope you enjoy your emotes. Okay, we got a couple of different options here. We're all split at the moment. We'll try and speed it up, and we'll go. That's going to be first to 4. Or if this stays as is, I guess it's fine. Just to make sure. Okay, you know what, Will? Yep, there you go. First to 4, done. All right, closing that pulse. So you order your owlbear companion to move up and attack. Alden also gets the bonus that Ruby Vance gave us. So I need another attack roll from you as Alden attempts to charge forth and maul this Thorny. So I kind of forgot about this last time, but Alden has a feature where if Alden travels at least 20 feet in a straight line and then hits with an attack, the target takes more damage and can be knocked prone. So here we go. I'm here to lurk and listen to the storytelling. I hope you have a fantastic time. Thank you very much. Lurkers are the backbone of Twitch, and I appreciate you dropping that here. It's very nice of you. Closing the giveaway. Cass, hit us with that attack roll, please. So this will have a +5 total to hit with the bonus. Okay, that's a 13. And the creature's armor class, unfortunately, is 14. So falling just short, Alden charges up, attempts to slam down one clawed paw on the creature's head to pin it to the ground. However, it seems to react just quickly enough to Alden charging through the fungal forest to just very narrowly dip out of the way. That would then bring us to the next person in the combat round, which is Roga. So Roga, your turtle companion, rushes out into the space a little bit behind, moves up to challenge this creature here, but again does not have the speed required to attack on this turn, so it's going to hold, see what happens on the next. That then brings us to the top of the round. Okay, so with the surprise round over, oh, actually no, they would move up because they would move up because that is a surprise round and they have nothing to hold. So this creature is now targeted by 2 of your allies. The first to react here is Trenk. Trenk is going to attempt to make an attack against the Thorny. Succeeds. The spear not doing quite as much damage as you would like. Once again, these creatures resistant to piercing damage, but nonetheless striking close enough. Hang on, why is my thing being a butt? There we go. So this is Thorny number 1. Takes that amount of damage. We are then at Thorny number 2. Okay. So this Thorny rushes up, just manages to get in range of your ally Trenk and attempts to hit. That is, I believe, not a hit. So bouncing off Trenk's shield, not managing to do any damage. Oh, Elog, thank you very much for another 2 gifted subs. That's very generous. Thank you, thank you, thank you. That's very kind. I see some love in the chat for Elog for all the generosity. For a very long time. Thank you. Okay, that brings us to your turn again, chat. So, you are currently back in this choke. Hugo has been wisely left behind, guarded by you. What would you like to do as your turn starts once again? You still have your bonus action to Hunter's Mark if you want. You can also do your attack again. Subbing is a proven technique to improve dice RNG. Yeah, sure. Can we do a fire spell or something? None of your current party have any access to fire magic. The only thing you have really at hand to do fire is your torch, which doesn't do a lot of damage, as we discovered last time, but it does stop these creatures from regenerating. Okay, I'm not gonna let this simmer for too long. If someone steals this dog, fucking dog statue thieves. Watch out for them. The final boss of any D&D campaign. Okay, so you choose to attack with your bow. Exclamation mark dice to enter for the attack roll. We're gonna speed things up a little bit because I've done a lot of explaining already today. So it's time to learn by doing. Okay, gonna close the giveaway in a couple of seconds here. Closing it up. Yerk, please give us the attack roll. And we'll see what we get. 18. Okay, so with a total of lots. With a total of more than enough, you shoot off another arrow. It strikes the creature's chest. Again, not doing quite as much damage as you would like, but you can see from the 2 attacks that the creature has already suffered, it is already starting to feel very, very threatened and slightly panicked. That is then your bonus action. So, what would you like to do as a bonus action on your turn? Again, you can command Alden to attack, or you can do the Hunter's Mark. Or nothing. Maths is just confidence. God, I wish that was true. You just go up and you buy something, and they're like, so that'll be $12. And you just go, actually, I think you'll find 4 plus 20 is 7. And they're like, and you're like, no, it's 7. Very well, sir. Have a nice day. Okay, so ordering Alden to attack target number 1. Need another attack roll from you, chat. Karens would be the best at maths. Yeah, we don't want to live in that world, do we? Nobody does. I really needed this coffee. Holy shit. I'm feeling way better now. This is the great thing about not drinking coffee every day. Coffee actually feels like it gives you superpowers when you drink it. Closing the giveaway. All right, Yerk, hit us with that roll again. Let's see what you got. Okay. So this time, striking true as Alden slams a mauling claw down onto the creature, dealing 8 points of slashing damage. So that is number 1, 8 points. Okay, so a fairly hefty blow from Alden, scraping down the face of this creature, pulling vines and strange sinewy flesh from it, brings us to the end of your turn, and to Roga. So your turtle companion once again attempts to attack downwards, slamming the quarterstaff. Natural 1, unfortunately fumbles, trips over some mushroom stalks, and almost just kind of plants on top of the thorny itself, but then kind of just grabs something just in time to roll off to the side, as unfortunately at this point a little bit loose with their footing. Which then brings us to the chief. Okay, so the Veggie Pygmy Chief is going to double check how this works. No, that doesn't really help. Okay, yeah, so the Veggie Pygmy is going to look around and then yeah, okay, so it's gonna pop off the top, off safety, and attempt to focus down Roga, which would be a miss. So attempting to flank Roga, the spear pings off Roga's shell to no effect. It is going to attempt to make another attack, as it can make 2 on its turn. That, I believe, is exactly what it needs to hit. So this one, striking true, dealing a total of 6 damage to Roga. Managing to find a gap between the shell and the flesh, and then withdrawing the spear with a little bit of blood on it. We are now at Thorny number 1. So, this enemy attempts to retaliate against Alden. That, I believe, is not a hit, so misses. Number 3 is going to attempt to attack Roga. Also misses, so both of these Thornies attempt to bite out at their attackers, but do not succeed. Okay, so that's fine. We now have Trank. Attack, hit, not doing that much damage, but doing something. We are now at Thorny. Round these off real quick. Does not hit, and we are now at your turn, chat. So, what would you like to do? You still have a pretty safe distance, and you now have a clear shot on all 4 of the targets within this area. So you can choose any of these creatures and attack them. To give you some information, targets number 2, 1, and 4 have all taken damage. So it's really up to you whether or not you want to focus something down quickly or keep spreading out your targets. At this point in time, the target number 1 is currently the lowest of all 4. I just got louder? Just my voice or the whole stream? Just my voice? What? Oh, okay, okay, give me a second. Sorry, chat, I don't know why it's doing that. Is that better? Did it fix it? Is it okay now? I think there's something weird with the electricity. Okay, it probably was supposed to be this volume the whole time. Okay, so we currently only have 1 vote. Does anybody else want to cast a vote here for what you would like to do on your turn? It's okay, as long as my voice sounds fine now, then we won't worry about it. You got quiet 20 minutes ago? Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, we've had this before. Okay, so choosing to attack number 4. I'm going to give you your dice roll. So ! dice to enter. I'll give it a couple of seconds. And then we'll close it out. Also, I can get rid of these numbers now. Let's go. Ruby Vance with the defense bonus. Okay. Ruby's going big on the buffs. Big support energy. All right. So the next attacks made against you and Alden will have a penalty, essentially. Attack bonus 2. Okay, dude. All right, closing the giveaway. Yerk again. All right, Yerk. It's destiny. Hit us with that attack roll. 7 plus 10 total brings us to 17. Okay, so your strike incredibly clean. The creature jumps down, attacks Roga, and you realize in this moment that you can't let these targets start to swarm any of your allies. So, with that, you do another 6 points of damage. The chief now is looking desperate. Very much so. Looking around, not expecting a force of this size to invade the lair. There's a moment where you're looking at this creature and you feel confident because you are landing your attacks, but you see that they're starting to reach down for something at their side, just off angle from you, so you can't see exactly what it is, but you can guess that it's possibly strapped around the waist. Some kind of item. You still have your bonus action. So what would you like to do as your bonus action? So again, you can choose to Hunter's Mark or choose to have your Owlbear companion attack again. And you can designate a different target if you want to. But currently, Alden is successfully pinning down target number 1. Thank you, Gene. I appreciate that. How far into the cave are we? You don't know how... Okay, so you took one route out of several options to get into this part of the cave. This is very clearly the hub of this area, so there's probably a lot more cave, but this is the biggest threat, essentially. No boss-looking guy. This is the closest you've seen to a boss-looking guy so far. All right. So, choosing to attack number 4, I need another attack roll. Exclamation mark dice to enter. Can't stress enough that you do not need to know how Dungeons & Dragons works. All of the intricacies of the combat system to get involved. All of the math is done for you. And all of the mechanics will be left up to me. So, don't worry too much about that. Just think about what the characters would do. And then join in however you would like. Okay, closing the giveaway. Tilly! Alright, Tilly, give us that attack roll for Alden. This will have a +5 to the bonus because of the spirit infusion. Okay, so a total of 13. 12? Yeah, 12. So you attempt to strike, or sorry, Alden attempts to strike down at this Thorny, hopefully dealing something close to a finishing blow. However, even with the spirit infusion that you see coursing through the feathers and the fur of Alden's body, the strike does not manage to land on the Thorny. That brings us to the end of your turn. And brings us to... That creature is not here yet. Roga's turn. Okay, so Roga attempts, but unfortunately fails to retaliate, turning and attempting to make a quarterstaff attack against Vegapygmy number 4. The chief then attempts to return the favor. Doesn't hit with the first attack. Okay. Doesn't hit with the second. So, missing with both attacks, attempting to pierce Roga's tough, leathery skin, does not manage to do so. Each blow either deflected or completely whiffing as Roga instinctively ducks, dodges, and weaves out of the way. This creature, in frustration, reaches down, finishes pulling this item from its belt. And what you very clearly see as this creature brings this item to its mouth is some kind of ornate horn. A very dark, grayish wood lined with areas of silver metal. And as they blow this horn, you don't immediately hear anything, but you feel it. You feel this vibration in your chest. And there's a moment where you feel like you have to hold on to your lunch as this vibration fills the space. Frequencies that you're not able to hear with your own voice. And you watch as everybody else in the area, such as Trenk, kind of instinctively clutches at his stomach, as if he's either trying to hold on to his lunch as well or hold something else in, as this low drone that your regular humanoid ears are not able to pick up erupts into the area. That brings us to the Thorny. The Thorny tries to attack, gets a natural... Wait, that wasn't it. Gets a 17, so that is a hit on Alden. So Alden takes... 8 points of damage as the creature bites into flesh. Thorny number 3 against Roga also hits. So Roga also takes 8 points of damage. Roga at this point, clutching the thigh that has just been bitten, is starting to look a little unstable, a little bit shaken, and you can see instinctively, having suffered this series of blows from these two sources, is kind of almost seeming to start staggering backwards, a little bit overwhelmed. That brings us to the top of the round. So you all hear from somewhere beyond the far wall of the cavern from where you are a rumbling sound and the vibration of the ground below you. It's a little bit light, but you can sense it. That brings us to Trenk. Trenk is going to attempt to continue his attacks against... actually, he's going to switch to target number 1. He's just within range of it. Unfortunately, doesn't hit. Stays where he is. Brings us to target number 2. He's going to attack Trenk. Does not hit him. So there's this trading of blows going on, but none of them actually managing to land, as this kind of stalemate continues between you and your enemies. We are now at your turn, chat. So, what would you like to do? You can feel this rumbling below your feet, but you don't know exactly what it is. But there may be some urgency involved. GTFO, run and attack, run away, burn the cave, kite, time to kite, yeah, Hunter strats. As you are contemplating what to do next, sensing this, you also hear something calling out from the elevated area on the left side of this cave from where you are. Something calling from on top of this elevation. I need you to give me a perception check while you continue to vote. So this is to determine whether or not you're able to figure out what the source of this voice is. And we'll see what happens. Shadow with the check bonus. Okay, so we'll also have an extra +2. Your perception right now for your character is +7, so it'll be +9 total to the check. Closing the giveaway. Gene. Okay, Gene, please hit us with the roll. So perception check will be whatever the result is plus 9. 19. Okay. So at first it's almost a little bit squeaky, but you very rapidly kind of search through your memories for something which immediately seems familiar. And you recognize this voice as the voice of the strange cat wizard creature that you had encountered on the ship a couple of days prior, who calls out, hello, I can hear you fighting down there. Help me now. He wasn't nice. A little rude, yeah. But, capable. So, you choose to do one of these 4 things. We need some kind of consensus here, so I'm just gonna go with whichever vote gets 3. So you're now aware that Alaric, the cat, is somewhere up in this top left. This may change your decision. Give Cat Wizard catnip. I wonder what would happen. I haven't really thought about that. Free cat. Okay, so closing the vote. So, you move up and you climb up to this elevation, and when you reach the top, you see in a small cage, unfortunately, it seems as though Alaric has returned to what may well be his natural habitat, given the circumstances in which you constantly seem to encounter each other, next to a strange black obelisk. Just the one cage, and you can see scattered around the area, there seem to be various interesting trinkets. There are a couple of stacks of small bones which seem very carefully arranged. There are a couple of circles that seem to be drawn in some kind of colored chalk or stone dust. This almost looking like some kind of sacrificial altar. So I'm going to reset the votes. You move up and you free Alaric from the cage, which doesn't take a whole lot of work. Alaric emerges, and I need to add Alaric to the initiative. Give me 1 second, please. You now have another ally on your side for this encounter, and that may change the tide somewhat. What's your initiative, buddy? +2? Okay. Add creature. 1 second, chat. Takes a while to do some of these things. Oh god, I almost added an adult black dragon. Hang on a second, chat. This isn't going well. No, we don't want you here. Goodbye, dragon. Yeah, Tilly knows all about my fascination with obelisks. It's because they look like penises. So we have AC 15. Initiative 2. Okay, perfect. PP? PP? Yep. Okay, where the fuck were we? Okay, so that is going to be your turn to do all of those things. You do, however, have a very nice vantage point now. And you have freed Alaric. And conveniently, it is Alaric's turn after yours. You still have... Hang on. You still have your bonus action. So you can, again, use a Hunter's Mark spell or something similar, or you can order Alden to attack. The target that Alden is currently fighting is a little bit worse for wear, but still very determined. So it'll still take a couple more attacks to finish. It's up to you. What would you like to do with this bonus action? Hunter's Mark Cat. I mean, you'd have a lot easier time tracking him down. It's not the worst idea. It's definitely not a great one, but it's not the worst idea you could have. You could, like, offer a sandwich. That wouldn't be that great. Throw cat at enemy? Come on now. That's just cruel. So for people who weren't there when Alaric was a part of the group, Alaric was a wizard trapped in a cat's body, best you could tell. You rescued Alaric when you were on top of an airship that subsequently crashed and you never saw him again. Alaric is a dark grey furred moggy cat. Ask cat to throw self at enemy. You could okay. All right, so you're choosing to attack number 4. Okay. Oh, actually, it's not very clear, but we can assume that you're attacking number 1 because that's where you are. So we're gonna need an attack roll. Please. I believe this had a bonus, right? No, that was a check bonus before. Yeah, okay, so it's just a normal attack roll. Okay, never mind. We have an attack bonus. Let's go, Tilly. Now it's got a bonus. Yeah. Okay, closing the dice giveaway. Sokai, please hit us with the attack roll, my friend. Do you feel the spirit energy once again flowing through your fingertips and onto the bowstring? That is enough to hit. Oh, sorry, this is for Alden, not your bowstring. As you see the spirit energy fluttering through Alden's feathers and rising up through the claw that it raises, slamming down onto the thorny, ripping again huge chunks from its form. The creature is now struggling. We are now on to the next person initiative, which is Alaric. So, Alaric takes a look over the top. And you can see Alaric's hair kind of stands on end, and just muttering under his breath is just like, oh, that doesn't feel good. What in the heavens have you done? And then it's going to... Yeah, it's going to be a Scorching Ray. And it's going to be at each different target, as Alaric seems to be aware of these creatures' weaknesses. So it's going to be 1 attack roll against number 2. That's a hit. 1 attack roll at number 1. That's also a hit, and another attack roll against target number 4. That is unfortunately a miss. Okay, so both of the Thornies closest to you each take 6 points of fire damage, stopping their regeneration. And there is your fire magic user. So, the ray of fire that slams into Thorny number 1 almost immediately incinerates the creature as it now kind of shrieks and hisses and rolls around on the ground trying to put out the fire. We are now at this creature. Okay, so the rumbling gets louder, but it doesn't seem as though it's simply a matter of whatever creature is causing this getting closer. You feel as though it is an addition of a second rumble. The tone very, very slightly different, but with your perception check before, you're able to tell that it's almost like two different rumbling frequency tones coming from this direction. At this point, yourself and possibly others drawing the conclusion that this may have summoned the two purple wormlings that you had encountered earlier and chosen not to fight. So we are going to be at Roga, but these creatures have not yet entered the battlefield themselves. Roga attempts to make an attack, succeeds, slamming down on the Thorny. So Thorny number 3 takes 6 points of bludgeoning damage. Roga striking true, which then brings us down to the Vegapygmy Chief, which is going to use this ability here. 15-foot radius. Okay, so it's just an initial burst. Okay, so I need a Constitution saving throw for Alden, please. So, a saving throw is something when your character is subjected to some kind of effect that is usually negative, you have to do something called a saving throw to try and resist those effects. So it's a dice roll accompanied by a modifier which is on the character sheets to see if they succeed. If they meet the required number, then they will succeed. Skill checks doesn't involve saving throws. It does not. No, just skill checks. Thank you for clarifying. No, I should probably add that onto the description. I need to roll for everybody else. So that is Trank and Roga. Okay, that's a success. Roga does not succeed. Okay. Closing the giveaway. Sokite, please give us our Constitution saving throw for Alden. For Alden, I believe this is a +2. Okay, that is a success. All right, so congratulations. Let's see what happens when you succeed on that. Nothing bad, I'm sure. Okay, so does not suffer any ill effects, but Roga does take... Okay, so essentially what happens is that you watch as nodules around this Vegapygmy's body very suddenly expand and then burst. In unison with this, the mushrooms around appear to erupt in some kind of synergy between these two creatures, and spores fill a 15-foot radius zone around the Vegapygmy Chief. Alden and Trank do not seem to suffer any immediate ill effects of this, but you can see that Roga is coughing and spluttering as they have deeply inhaled the spores unintentionally. Thorny number 1 attempts to attack. Gets a natural 20 on... That's Alden. So Alden takes critical damage. Let me just find out exactly how much that's going to be. Alden takes 11 points of damage. That is not quite enough to immediately knock Alden unconscious. So Alden, distracted by these exploding spores, frightening Alden, kind of instinctively rears back, and the Thorny bites out at Alden's neck, grappling onto it. Eventually, Alden manages to free himself, but you can see that there is kind of blood surrounding the area and deeply seeping through the fur and feather. as Alden now has 1 HP left. What is our movement? 30 feet, I believe. That brings us to number 3. Attempts to attack Roga. Doesn't hit, fortunately for Roga, who's also having a struggle. Which brings us to the top of the round as the first of the purple wormlings emerges. Bursting through the wall, shattering rock in every direction. The first wormling has entered the combat. Doesn't have the range to immediately attack anybody, as I had to travel some distance to get here. So it's going to use... Yep, that's it. That's all of its resources expended for this turn to get into this space. We are now on Trenk's turn. Trenk, shocked by this, is going to try and finish off target number 1, attacking Alden. He protect, hits, and with that, Thorny number 1, after dealing an almost fatal blow to Alden, is pierced through the side of the stomach and impaled into the ground by Trenk's spear, and is removed from combat. Number 2 is going to attempt to attack him. Doesn't hit. Once again, Trenk's proficiency with plate armor and a shield coming in clutch as the attacks continue to rebound off and doing no damage. We are now at your turn, chat. So you and Alden are up. You are currently still perched on this elevation, able to observe the battlefield. I'm opening the vote. So currently, Thorny number 2, this creature here, has sustained some damage. Looks like it's still got quite a lot of fight left in it. And then number 4, similarly, has taken a fair amount of damage, but still fighting strong. Number 3 is probably looking the healthiest of all of them, apart from the worm. You are aware that dealing bow damage keeps you safe, but does less damage to these enemies. So you're going to have to decide what you would like to do. You have enough movement to get in range of this creature if you wanted to do a sword attack. Number 4 is just a little bit too far away to attack with the sword on this turn. So if you wanted to attack number 4, it would have to be with your bow. Yeah, it's just outside of the movement that you can do on this turn, which is 30 feet, which is basically 6 times the size of your character. So it's just outside of it. Can we move and then bow attack after? Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So you can move, use an action, and a bonus action on your turn. Those are not exclusive things. You can do all of those things on one turn. It really depends on whether or not you want to expose yourself to more potential danger from close range attackers by, removing yourself from this perch. We're currently split 1-1-1. So, okay, 2. We're just going to go with that. So, choosing to bow attack number 4 again, trying to finish off the chief. I'm opening up the attack roll. So, enter with exclamation mark dice, please, if you so desire. Going to close the giveaway fairly swiftly here to move things along. But I'll make sure that the mobile users can get in on it if they want. Closing the giveaway. Bonk. Sokite. All right, Sokite, give us that bow attack roll, please. Okay, so with a total of 19, Your hit is perfect, accurate, true, precise, as you deal another 6 points of damage to the chief. And the chief then is looking up to you, and you can see these creatures are a little hard to read. They don't express emotions in the same way as someone like you or your companions would, but the eyes are wide and bloodied, and there is a look of absolute desperation and frustration on this creature as it doesn't quite seem to know how to deal with this surprise attack that has been launched at the heart of its colony. What would you like to do as your bonus action? So Alden currently does not have any immediate attackers around him. So you can move down or move up to attack with him, or you can get him to retreat. And if he retreats at this point in time, there will be no opportunity attacks because nothing is quite close enough to him to attack him. So retreating is a safe option at this point. Retreat to Hugo. That's a good choice. Okay. We'll go with that then. So Alden looks to you for guidance, not quite sure among the various choices available what to do. And you kind of point and whistle. And Alden rushes over, retreating to safety. To lick his wounds. That then brings us to Alden's turn, but assuming at that point Alden is not going to do anything. So my question to you is whether or not you would like to use your Hunter's Mark as your bonus action. So you still have your bonus action. Wait, hang on. We ordered him to attack. Sorry, I take it back. Chat. You've used your bonus action. Sorry. That's my bad. That was your bonus action. I'm just being silly. Sometimes there's a lot going on. Sorry. Please forgive. We are currently on Alaric's turn. So Alaric, the cat wizard, the cat mage, is going to do another round of Scorching Rays. This is the last one that he can do today. Okay, the first attack is a hit against the Thorny. The second one against the Chief is also a hit. And the third one is also a hit. So all of these attacks... Oh my god, it's crazy the range on that spell. So Alaric once again kind of peeks over the edge, pointing a single furry tiny paw and then launching a bolt of fire in 3 intervals down onto the battlefield below. All 3 striking too in these plumes of fire and smoke as they all take 6 points of fire damage each. Ooh, that's almost kill on some of these creatures. So now at this point, the Chief is looking mortally wounded. And both Thornies are looking like they are also panicked, rolling around, desperately trying to extinguish the fire on their backs. We are now at the second purple worm, which emerges from the wall in a similar fashion, bursting into the arena in this direction. As they just start to look around, trying to figure out what is going on, why the sound has been emitted to summon them here. You don't know exactly how much control this Vegapygmy might have, but I guess you will find out when it gets back to their turn. Roga is going to attempt to make an attack against number 4 to finish it off. Hits. So Roga knocks the head clean off this Chief. And then it just flies across the room and disappears into the fungus below. And then we are at that creature, which is now dead. Bring us to the Thorny number 3, which attempts to attack Roga. Hits. Roga, how much health do you have? 8 health. How much damage does a Thorny do? I believe it's exactly 8 damage. So with that, you watch as Roga swings, knocking the head clear off this chief. The Thorny down by Roga's side tears at the hamstring of Roga's exposed leg, and you watch as Roga falls face first into the ground unconscious. Not dead, but unconscious. Yes, Roga counts as essentially a player character, so starts to make saving throws on his turn. We are then at the top of the round with Worm number 1. Looking around, it immediately attacks the first thing it sees. So that is going to be Thorny number 2. Is that a miss? Okay, so it attempts to bite the Thorny, but slams into the ground next to it as the Thorny just manages to leap out of the way. Is Alden still 1 HP? Yes. Alden is still 1 HP. We are then on Trenk, who is going to attempt to finish off the Thorny. They're not having an awful lot of confidence in being able to do so. Hits, dealing some damage, TM. This last Thorny now, this second last Thorny now, essentially pinned from both sides, desperately trying to retaliate against these strikes, but struggling, very clearly overwhelmed. We are at Thorny number 2, attempts to retaliate, doesn't hit, pinging off the armor once again. We are now at your turn, chat. What would you like to do? As it comes to your turn, you know that Alden has retreated out of your line of sight. They are safe for now. But it does also mean that you cannot heal them from where you are. So you may have to consider either having Alden going in anyway, or fighting without Alden for the time being. Let me double check something real quick. Yeah, you can Healing Surge again if you want. That would be on Alden's turn, though. If you order Alden to do that as a bonus action, that is what Alden will do. Currently, Roga is out of range of your healing spell. Your healing spell, the healing magic that you currently have, is only touch. You have to be right next to the creature to be able to heal them. So what would you like to do on your turn, chat? With your action. Bow attack number 3. Okay. Closing the giveaway. Opening the giveaway. So, exclamation mark dice for the attack roll against the Thorny on the other side of the cavern. And I will be closing very shortly here. Closing the giveaway. Gene, hit us with that attack roll, please. So this will be the +8 from the longbow at this range. Oh, it's so close to a crit, but still pretty damn good all the same. All right, so the arrow flies across the room, noticing that your companion Roga has fallen, realizing this desperation in the situation, which is now starting to affect your side of the combat too. we have an extra 6 points of damage to that Thorny, which then now seems as though it was bearing down on Roga, possibly going for a second attack. But now noticing you up on the high ground, looks towards you and is now fixating on your position. What would you like to do as a bonus action? Can we roll the Roga saving throws for extra motion? You know what, Yerk? Yes, you can. I will very gladly give you that responsibility. Because then it's not on me anymore. So, I don't know why that's... there we go. Okay, it's open. Sorry. So, as a bonus action, what are you ordering Alden to do? Alden Healing Surge. Right. Okay. We were probably going to go with that. I had a DM once that told us, I don't kill characters, the dice that does. That is savage. But I might use that. Okay, so Alden Healing Surge. With that, Alden heals 4. Let me just double check the amount to be fair. At this level, it would be plus 6. So Alden heals for 6. You can expend multiple dice if you want to. I'm assuming that's what we're going to do here. So, Alden currently has 2 charges of Healing Surge. So would you like to use 1 or 2 charges? So basically this is, would you like to heal for 6 or 12 damage? If you do 12, you will not be able to use Healing Surge again for Alden. So 1 charge is 6, 2 charges is 12. One charge. Okay, I'll just see if anybody else wants to vote contrary to this. But it looks like that's going to be what we're going to do here. So let me mark that off. Okay, Alden heals for 6 damage. Bring Alden back up to a total of 7 HP. Roga is a him, by the way, Gene. Just so you're aware. We have now... That's Alden's turn. Alaric's turn. Okay, so Alaric. Alaric, what are you doing? You've used both of your 2nd level spells. Alden is going to fire off a chromatic orb at target number... Which one's looking lowest, Alaric? Target number 3. Target number 3. So this needs to be an attack roll with a +4 to hit. Oh, buddy. Okay, so Alaric rears up on his hind legs and begins to spin some kind of orb of magic between his paws, then throws it like a ball across the room, this orb of fire traveling through and slamming down, unfortunately, off to the right side of the Thorny, not managing to hit. And there is just a hiss of frustration, and then almost an apologetic clearing of the throat as Alaric seems that this kind of behavior is unbecoming of him. I imagine it looked like a ball of yarn. Yeah, it's quite a nice aesthetic. That brings us to number 5. Okay, number 5. What is it gonna do? I'm gonna see what it sees first. Okay. Or feels. Sees and feels. The most of the movement is coming from this direction. So it's going to move forward and is going to attempt to attack Trank with a bite attack. Misses. Tries to follow up with a stinger on the tail. Misses again. So this creature bursts through the undergrowth in this cavern, attempts to immediately bite Trank. Trank just manages to step out of the way, and then just in time as well, sees over his shoulder as the worm wraps around, a tail coming out to strike into his back, and just manages to swerve out of the way of that one as well. We are then at Trank's turn. No, Roga's turn. Roga needs to make a death saving throw, chat. So, exclamation mark dice to enter for the saving throw to see if... Hello? Camera? Camera? There we go. So this needs to be 10 or more, as Yerk has pointed out. A 10 or more is 1 success. So unfortunately, Bean, there's no buff for this one, because the saving throw is not applied to the check bonus. Or the check bonus does not apply to a saving throw. Right now, we have 3 brave souls willing to roll the dice. Do you even buff, bro? Mayhaps. Okay, closing the giveaway. Max. Max, please give us that D20 roll. Okay, so that's 1 success. Let me mark that on the character sheet here. 1 success. So, Roga makes 1 step towards stabilizing. We are then at Thorny number 3. She's going to move up. Yeah, it uses its entire movement to clamber up, but can't attack on this turn, as it has used its action to dash. Number 6, the Wormling, kind of rotates around. I'm just doing this for clarity, but it's going to attempt to make another attack against the Thorny in front of it. First with the bite. That's a hit. I believe... Okay, so the Thorny needs to make a dexterity saving throw to avoid being swallowed. Fails. So, this purple worm kind of rears up and then slams down into the Thorny, briefly burrowing into the ground, creating a fairly large fissure where the Thorny once was. And as it emerges, the Thorny is just gone. But you can hear this faint hissing disappearing down the throat of this creature. It is then going to make a stinger attack against Trank, indiscriminately attacking everything around it. That is an actual hit. So then it takes... So he takes, first of all, 5 points of piercing damage as the stinger slams into his side between a gap in his armor. And then he needs to make a Constitution saving throw. Succeeds. And takes 5 points of poison damage as it begins to funnel into his system. He resists the worst effects of it, but the poison's so strong that he still takes damage. We are then at Trank's turn. Trank turns, and I can also get rid of Thorny number 2 because there's no way that it survives. Trank is going to attempt to attack the purple worm. Unfortunately, does not hit. So taken aback by this, desperately swings out instead of thrusting with the spear, and it just impacts into the side of the beast, but has absolutely no effect on its tough skin. I'm gonna remove you from initiative. You're still there. We are now on your turn, chat. So, what would you like to do? It is your turn. You have a Thorny right next to you. And you are now aware that this is the last of the Vegapygmy creatures left, right? But you are now in a situation where you are going to have to decide if you're going to try and fight off these worms. You imagine running from them will be quite difficult. But it is an option. That's true, Yerk. You do, yeah. You do. You do also have a short sword, which you can attack with, which, because the creatures are resistant to piercing damage, may do more damage, depending on if you hit. Just so you're aware. You are aware at this point. I don't expect everyone to remember everything all the time, so I'm okay giving clarity. You do know that these creatures seem to have a resistance to piercing damage. Okay, so we've got Sword Attack 3 and then Sparta Kick the Thorny down. I mean, feel free to chime in, guys, if you want to do either one of those options. They are open to you. Yeah, you attacked with the torch. And then in the forest, I think you used your sword as well at one point. Okay, Sword Attack 3 it is. Closing the vote. I need an attack roll from you, please, chat. I want to sacrifice them to the worm gods. Yo, this isn't Dune, man. Okay, relax. Okay, gonna give you a couple seconds. Closing giveaway. Yerk, hit us with the roll. Let's see what we get. Yerk's getting very lucky with these rolls today. Congratulations. Rigged, by the way. 17. Okay. A swift slashing across the creature's chest as it rears up towards you. Spills ichor, wriggling vine, and other living plant material from its body. Almost instantly killing it, but it's just managing to survive with 1 HP. That brings us to your bonus action. What are you doing as a bonus action? Alden has healed, and Alden can rejoin the fight if you want. Otherwise, you could use your bonus action to Hunter's Mark one of the targets in the area to do more damage. Now that I think about it, what if we take the worms to the creature that petrifies people? You could try it. You could try it. That is entirely up to you. Funnily enough, Gene, that doesn't fit on the list. So weird. Worth a try, I guess, right? Okay, so I need some kind of conclusion here. Alden rescue Roga. Okay. Let's go with that. So Alden moves through into the space, grabs Roga, and then begins to drag him back. Doesn't manage to get all the way into safety, but it's pretty close. That then brings us to Alaric's turn. Alaric is going to use a firebolt against the Thorny. That is an absolute hit. So as the creature's guts begin to flow from its belly, a single mote of fire appears within its chest that then explodes, and the creature begins to burn to ash. Okay, so now the two enemies that you face are the two purple wormlings. And we are at purple wormling number 5, which is going to attempt to make an attack against Trank. hits. So, first of all, Trank takes 7 points of piercing damage. And then he needs to make a dexterity saving throw. For tension, I'm going to get you to do this, chat. As you watch the toothy maw of the purple wormling clasp onto Trank, lift him off the ground, you're aware, from what you've seen in the past, and even incredibly recently, that this creature is going to attempt to swallow Trank. Ooh. Okay. Getting ready to close the giveaway here. Closing it up. Gene. Hit us with the roll, please. Okay, so with a 4 plus 0. So, the worm tosses Trank into the air, releasing him just for a moment, and then the mouth stretches outwards, almost impossibly wide for this creature's frame, and then Trank disappears into the void of this creature's belly, out of sight. You're not entirely sure what is happening to him, but you can imagine that it is not pleasant. We are on Trank's turn. Okay, so I just need to double check something. Okay. Takes this amount of damage at the start of each turn. Okay, yeah. Cool. All right. Got it. I just want to make sure this is all above board and totally legit. Okay. We are now on your turn, chat. You have just seen Trank be swallowed by Purple Worm number 5. What would you like to do? Should be starting. There we go. I believe there is a... Yeah, there's the character one. That'll tell you. So, what we'll do first of all... Number 5. Yeah, number 5 has swallowed Trank. I'll move them together so you know. There we go. Did you Hunter's Mark yet? No, I believe you did not. Because you chose to have Owlden rescue Roga instead of Hunter's Marking. What I think we'll do, first of all, I'm going to open a dice roll here. This is going to be a nature check to see what you know about purple worms. And see if you can figure out a solution to this potentially fatal dilemma that you're now faced with. This will have a total of +6 to the roll, because you did recently acquire the Headband of Intellect, and you feel like you're able to remember a lot more about your encounters in the past, the books that you've read, the conversations that you've had about a variety of different creatures. Oh, Rax with the 3,000. Okay, thank you very much. So this is going to have an extra +2, bringing the total bonus up to lots. +8 total. Closing the giveaway. Gene, please give us our nature check. Also, it's good to see you, Jerry. Thanks, dude. Thanks for stopping by. Natural 20. Okay. Okay. So, let me bring up this thing here. Here's what you recall about purple worms in this desperate scenario as you rack your brain for any kind of information that might help, and it comes to you almost instantaneously. We no longer see chat rolls. Wait, what? You didn't see that? Is something broken? I saw it. Oh, maybe it just disappeared really fast, Okami. I'm like, oh my god. Whew. Let me test it real quick. You see this, right? Okami, do you see that? Okay, I just wanted to make sure. I just wanted to make sure that there was something really weird going on. Can you just roll the dice and hope it's not a natural 20 just to get rid of it? Thanks. Okay, so thank you very much, Yerk. There we go. Perfectly average roll. Get it out of the way now. Your next roll is going to be really high. I have absolute faith. So in this moment, you recall this information as best as you can. There's a specific conversation you remember having with a fellow monster hunter back on your home world, where they're talking about an encounter that they and their traveling party had with an adult purple worm, and you're able to draw some conclusions from that. First of all, what you remember is this individual was recounting a tale of when they were swallowed by a purple worm and they had to fight their way out. Almost immediately upon entering the creature's throat, they started to receive acid damage from the various fluids within the creature. So you know that Trenk, as damaged as he was, having been swallowed by this creature, there's a very good chance that he is already unconscious at this point in time. So things are already pretty dire. You know that the only way to free Trenk from the creature is to go in yourself and do damage from inside it, or to simply kill the creature and then remove Trenk from it. The only way to get this worm to regurgitate whatever is inside is to be inside the creature, where it is more vulnerable, as the outside of its skin is entirely coated in this very tough, almost rock textured skin. So yeah, you are aware Trenk is in there, probably unconscious. He is going to continue taking damage for as long as he is currently in that stomach, as he has no way to resist at this point in time. So this is about as how would I put this? This is the worst case scenario. You are currently in the worst case scenario with Trenk. So I'm going to reset the vote. Let's reset the vote because this is now new information. What would you like to do? Enter worm. I love it. Okay, so you have just enough movement jumping down and then towards the creature. I need you to give me an athletics check, chat, to see if you can force this creature's mouth open and enter inside. I'm going to need to make a... Actually... Yeah, okay, this is going to be interesting. Okay, closing the giveaway. Christian, please give us the roll. Let's see what you get. Natural 20. Oh, you guys are getting some fucking clutch rolls here. Okay, so that brings us to a total of 22. with a nat 20. So before this creature has even managed to fully swallow Trank, its body kind of instinctively begins to recoil into the ground, and as it does so, it's just at the right elevation where you reach down into its throat, and with a natural 20, you grab onto Trank's wrist as you just see the hand disappearing down into the darkness. So, with that, I will say, how generous do I want to be? That's the question. So this is your movement to get to here. You've grabbed Trank. I'll say with your action, you can attempt to pull him out. So I'm going to use your previous check of 22, and I'm going to see if the creature itself can resist this process happening. It cannot. With a total of 17, the creature attempts to tighten its throat around Trank's body, but it's not enough. As in this moment in desperation, you use all of your available might to pull at the wrist, and Trank is released and tossed to the ground beside you, pulled from the creature's maw. So that's your turn. You do still have your bonus action. So what would you like to do with your bonus action? You can very clearly see that Trank is unconscious, as you had assumed. And you thank the gods, wherever they might be, or whatever gods happen to exist in this world that you currently find yourself in, that you managed to act swiftly enough with the correct information at hand. Okay, so you choose to use Hunter's Mark on target number 5. Roger that. And that is the end of your turn. You have used all of your movements, so you wouldn't be able to move anyway. That brings us then to Alaric's turn. Alaric is going to fire off another chromatic orb at number 6, which is right next to him. So let's see if he hits. Natural 1. Unfortunately, another one of these coalescing balls of fire shot off, slamming into the wall beside. Alaric, at this point, is a little overwhelmed by these two enormous creatures who have entered the battlefield, and he is fully aware of the threat that they pose, and is unable to aim his arcane magic in the right direction. Welcome, Fish Fingers. Thank you very much. We're having a good time. Let's go then to the next initiative, which is number 5. So number 5 kind of lets out an eruption of noise. This low rumbling combined with this grinding of stone of both its skin and whatever materials are inside this creature's stomach as it bellows into the area in frustration. It is going to attempt to attack you. What's your AC? 16? So that is a hit. So I need you to give me a dexterity saving throw, chat, as the creature now attempts to swallow you. First of all, you take 7 points of piercing damage. Bring you to 18 out of 25. Okay, closing the giveaway. Sokai, hit us with that saving throw, please. You need to meet a total roll of 13 or higher. Okay, so your dex save is 50. It's +5, so that brings you to a total of 11. So unfortunately, you do not make the save. And you feel yourself being pulled into the throat of this worm. As you have essentially traded place with Trank. Can I support the players by using cozy credits even if I don't play? Absolutely. You do whatever you want to do, Wigglytuff. If you have the points, feel free to hit out one of those bonuses. We are then at... your turn, Alaric's turn, Worm's turn. Roga needs to make another death saving throw. So I'll let you do this one again, chat. So this is a death saving throw for Roga. Roga needs to either succeed 3 times or fail 3 times to decide whether or not they stabilize or die. Or he, sorry. Yeah, if you get a yes, true. If you get a natural 20, you come back with 1 hit point. So there's always a chance. I never trust me with these rolls. But, yeah, I mean, who would you trust with the rolls? Okay. Closing the giveaway. Sokite. Here we go, Sokite. It's redemption time. So +5. Oh, okay. So there's no modifier to this roll because it's death saving throw. So unfortunately, that is 1 failure, 1 success. The Sokite redemption arc is not started yet. So that's still fine. Roga is not in immediate danger, but is not able to regain consciousness at this point in time. Bunny number 3 is gone. I need to remove you. So this brings us to Purple Worm number 6. 6 moves forward and attempts to attack Alaric, slithering up the side of the wall and then attempting to bite out, kind of launching itself towards Alaric, and attempts to bite and swallow. That is 16, which is a hit. So Alaric takes 7 points of damage. Needs to make a dex save. I'm going to get you guys to do this one, chat. So this is a dexterity saving throw for Alaric to see if Alaric gets swallowed as well. How's Strength's HP? Yeah, he's out. He's unconscious, so he's going to have to do saves as well. Okay, closing the dice giveaway. Sokite, come on, Sokite, you can do this. Oh no, he can't do this, dude. Okay, so you don't see this happening because you're currently swallowed. But Alaric also disappears down the throat of the purple worm. All right, can't make it to anybody else to make an attack. We have Trank. Okay, chat, I need a death saving throw for Trank. First one. Worm is like hecka tasty. Exactly. At least Alden is fine. Yep, Alden may be the sole survivor of this. Who knows? I'd hate for that to happen, but... Hello, Avenger. Everything's going fine. Why is Trank dying again? Because Trank was bitten, swallowed, and then fell unconscious inside the purple worm. Alden campaign? Could be. Okay. Closing the giveaway. Christian. All right, Christian, we need that natural 20 luck, man. Come on. Let's see what you got. Oh, so close, man. Okay, so that's one success. Yeah, let's go, though. Exactly. Let's go, though. Let's go, though. We are then at Alden's turn. So you currently cannot see Alden, but I will say in this situation, since Alden is not able to see you, Alden will act on his own accord. So what would you like Alden to do, chat? I don't know why that hasn't started. Sorry. Hang on. There we go. So what is Alden going to do? Alden can no longer see you. The only two allies that Alden can see are both unconscious. Can Alden heal Roga? Alden has no ability to heal others or cast any magic. Attack or move? Yes, essentially. Or as previously happened, Alden went up, pulled an ally out of the fight. So what's Alden doing? Got 2 votes for attacking target number 5. Okay. Here we go. I need an attack roll, please, chat. So this will have your regular plus 3 to hit. Okay, I'm going to close the giveaway pretty soon here. Avenger, welcome to the stream, friend. Hit us with that attack roll, please, to see if Alden can land an attack on this purple worm that is just swallowed. Okay, that is a hit. So Alden rushes forward, doing a charge attack. The creature needs to make a... Let me just double check this. Needs to make a strength saving throw of 13. Succeeds. Okay, so is not pulled prone by this tiny owlbear, but does take the full damage. So that is 8 slashing damage against the purple worm. As Alden desperately, kind of a mixture between anger and crying frustration and sadness, desperately claws out at this worm, trying to free you in some desperate way, not having the natural intelligence to figure out exactly what is going on, that has nonetheless seen his newest master fall into this creature's maw and disappear from sight. As you, Belandria, can just hear these kind of haunting howls of Alden lamenting your disappearance. We are now at... So, it's technically your turn, chat. You didn't do an action yet. So what are you doing? You're swallowed by this creature. I should have probably had you go first, but it's fine. So you're swallowed by this creature. You can feel the muscles of its throat contracting around you, constricting your movements. Attacks you make will be at disadvantage. You currently have Hunter's Mark on this target, so you can choose to attack it. You can attack with your sword. You can attempt to stab it from the inside, absolutely. And when you're recalling, again, just to reiterate, the story that you heard from this fellow monster hunter is that this is the way that they freed themselves from its mouth, by attacking it from the inside. Okay, so choosing to attack. I need a dice roll, please. If you hit with this sword attack, it will do a total of 11 points of slashing damage. This will be at disadvantage, so we will be rolling twice to see which number is higher. So closing the giveaway. Bish Fingers, hit us with your first roll. Let's go. So exclamation mark roll. Okay, so you got a total of 24 to hit. Let's do another one. So enter the giveaway once again, everybody. When a roll has disadvantage, you roll twice and you take the lower number of the two. Feel free to enter again if you want to. So you already have a very nice buffer here. Let's just hope that your next roll isn't too low. Okay, closing the giveaway. Fingers again. Okay, Fingers, let's go for some consistency here. Hit us with another roll. Okay, with a dirty 20, that is more than enough. You pull your sword from your hilt. You desperately try to force the blade upwards, and then with as much movement and strength as you have, you slice down the inside of the creature, and you feel the muscles in the throat give way as some kind of instinctive reflex causes the muscles from below your feet to convulse, and you are thrust from the creature's mouth, vomited with a fair amount of acid onto the ground next to Trank. As you did one more damage than necessary to have yourself regurgitated. You did take 3 acid damage at the beginning of your turn, though. So you are on 15 out of 25. Alden has already made the move as the bonus action. So we are now on to Alaric. Alaric takes acid damage and then is going to attempt to do a similar thing. What have you got here, Alaric? Yeah, it's going to attempt at a chromatic orb from within the creature. Nope. Unfortunately, does not manage to hit, as Alaric is unable to properly coalesce this magic, restricted as he currently is, and the magic just extinguishes in his paws before he can let it loose inside the creature. Which brings us to number 5. Number 5, frustrated, is going to attempt to attack you again. Hits. I need another dexterity saving throw, chat. So you take 7 points of piercing. Doice. Yeah, that makes you roll extra high, right? Hello, Savannah. Closing the giveaway. So-kite, please. Please, So-kite. Come on, dude. You got this. This is it. There's no way you roll low again. It's just not possible. It was possible. Okay. It was possible. Okay, listen, Sokai, listen though. You literally can't roll lower now. Like, this is rock bottom. There's only up from here. Like, this is a good thing, right? This is good for you. So you are once again swallowed by the purple worm. But at least you're confident you can make your way out, right? As you got a good look at the creature, during the brief moment that you had been regurgitated, you saw that you'd already done a fair amount of damage to this creature. It was already starting to leak from various wounds that had been dealt to its exterior, and there was blood very clearly spilling from the mouth where you had cut inside its throat. So you are wearing this creature down. We are now at Roga. I need another death saving throw for Roga, please, chat. I'm not sure. I don't know if I said hello explicitly to you, Shanice. I'm very sorry if I forgot. I acknowledged your messages, but I think I should say hello. So hello. Thank you for stopping by. If I haven't already said that. Again, my mind is working a million times a minute, and I may forget stuff. Hello, Neon. Okay, closing the giveaway. Gene? What you got for us? It needs to be a 10 or higher to be a success. Okay, so unfortunately, that is 2 failures for Roga. Which then brings us to number 6. Number 6 starts to move. Can't see anything, honestly. As far as this creature is concerned, oh no, actually can. It can see Alden, so moves down in this direction. What's the speed of the purple worms, actually? Speed 20. Okay, cannot reach it, actually. So starts to move towards Alden, uses action to dash, and Alden is now pinned between 2 of these worms. But it cannot attack on this turn. I need a death saving throw for Trank. So we'll see if Trank can succeed on another saving throw. This is going to be very close. Oh, Alaric is over here as well. To give you proper stock of the situation, as there's a lot of visual things going on, at this point in time, you have Roga unconscious over to the side, Trank unconscious in the middle of the combat. Both yourself and Alaric have both been swallowed, so the only creature that is currently fighting these creatures from the outside is Alden. Closing the giveaway. Avenger. Okay, Avenger, this needs to be a 10 or higher for a success. Okay, so unfortunately a failure, so Trank is on 1 success, 1 fail. That brings us to Alden. Okay, since you're swallowed again, Alden is acting alone. What is Alden doing? Currently, worm number 5 is looking fairly injured. Worm number 6 is unscathed at this point in time. D&D, hell yeah, beastie. Things are rough. The dice have not been kind. But such is the nature of the beast. Attack. Okay, so opening the attack roll, please. Enter with exclamation mark dice. Save your safe, Alden. I think Alden's too loyal, you know? I think chat is acting perfectly in character here, and I love it. I love the commitment. It's good to see. Closing the giveaway. So Kite. Attack roll, please. So you need to roll a 7 or higher, So Kite, to hit this creature. But unfortunately, you do not succeed. So, Alden desperately scraping to no avail on this creature's hide, trying to free you, but in this desperation is not focused on doing damage to the creature. Instead, is just trying to slow it down and try and get to its maw to try and reach you. Let's then go to your turn, chat. You are currently inside the creature. What would you like to do? Yeah, it's not so... Listen, I know we're memeing, but let's just remember, it's unlikely any of you would have done any better, okay? Sokai is soaking all of the bad rolls onto themselves so that the rest of you don't have to deal with it, okay? You should be thanking Sokai for using up all of this bad luck. Okay. Sword attack. Give me the attack roll, please. Opening the dice roll. To hit this creature with your sword, you need to roll a 4 or higher on the dice to get it to 12. This will be with disadvantage. Closing the giveaway. There'll be a second one. Don't worry if you miss this one. Max. Max, please roll the dice for us. It needs to be a 4 or higher to hit. Oh, it's devastating. Okay, so I'm not going to get you to roll the second dice. Because it's with disadvantage, the attack cannot hit regardless. You take, on this turn, 3 points of acid damage. Can I do an attack bonus? Technically, you're supposed to do it beforehand. Do we do Okay. Okay. All right, so we are now on Alaric. Alaric, come on, dude. You gotta hit him. You gotta do it. Oh my God. How is this These creatures are so easy to hit. And everybody keeps missing. Okay. That's the way the game works. All right, so we are now moving on to number 5. Number 5 is going to attempt to attack Alden. Doesn't hit. So the creature now attempts to attack downwards towards Alden, possibly swallowing him as well. But Alden just manages to leap out of the way and continues to desperately claw away at the creature, trying to climb up it and get towards you. Roga needs another death saving throw. Roga is currently on 2 failures and 1 success. So this next roll needs to be 10 or higher, or Roga will die. Also, hello, Matt. Good to see you, dude. I'm not touching this one, but it can't get any worse though, Kite. What do you mean? Yeah, there's always the chance. If you get a natural 20, you're revived with 1 hit point. Hello, I'm here to save the campaign. No big deal. I'm so glad you're here, man. A weight has been lifted from chat collectively. Okay, closing the dice giveaway. Avenger. Okay, it needs to be 10 or higher, Avenger. What have you got? Okay, so that's another success. So Roga is now on 2 failures and 2 successes, which means that if the combat lasts long enough, Roga will either stabilize or die on the next turn. Which brings us to number 6. Number 6 is going to attempt to attack Owlden. Does not hit. So Owlden only just managing to duck and weave, surrounded on both sides by these enormous worm creatures, desperately trying to maw and throw stingers at him. The second attack is a stinger attack. Natural 1, okay. So the stinger comes down right next to Owlden, slams into the ground and gets stuck as this creature is momentarily restrained itself on the ground. So its next attack will have disadvantage. We are at the up here, so I need a saving throw from Trank. A lot of saving throws going around here. Well, listen, like, you're getting to roll a lot of dice, which is nice, right? Like, everyone loves rolling dice. Minch, thank you very much for the 9-month subscription. That is baby. Thank you so much. Sorry there's no sound. It's not there because of the VOD. But thank you, thank you, thank you. I really appreciate your support. Thank you. Welcome back to the Cozy Club. Thank you for continuing your subscription to the channel and supporting me and everybody else. Closing the dice giveaway. Savannah. Okay, Savannah, come on. 10 or higher. Let's go. Oh, it's happening. The redemption arc. So, with the ruckus happening, I got chills, dude. Fuck. Okay. Whoa. Whew. Okay. So, Trank starts to rouse and begins to take in the situation around him, getting to his feet, and then noticing that the only person that he can see is Owlden. Owlden is again desperately crying out and clawing at the side of this worm. From this, he puts 2 and 2 together and realizes that you have probably been swallowed. He looks around, doesn't see Alaric, assumes the same. Looks over to the right and sees Roga in a slump off to the side. So what we're gonna do is, what would Trank do in this situation? He's not gonna leave, but he has spells. Okay, so Trank is going to... Oh, he can't. He's going to take an opportunity attack. He realizes he can't move to heal Roga. That's what he wants to do, but he realizes that if he moves and the creature notices and it hits him, he's going down again. So what he's going to do is he is going to heal himself with a 2nd level Cure Wounds. Because he knows that he is the hardest target to hit out of everybody else who is currently here. And if he can stay alive, if he can deflect a couple more blows, perhaps he can clutch this one out. So he first of all heals for 8. 8. Okay, so he heals for 9 damage. So that brings up to a total of 10. Okay, so Trank is back up. He doesn't have anything he can do as a bonus action, I don't think. Oh, he can. Okay, so he is going to use, as I use the spellcasting rules, you can cast 2 spells in a turn as long as one of them is below 2nd level. So he is going to cast Sanctuary on himself, which is a spell that makes it harder to hit. He's going to put it on... Alden. Yeah, he's going to put a spell called Sanctuary on Alden. So any creature that attempts to attack Alden must first make a Wisdom saving throw. If they fail, they must choose a new target or lose the attack. So he's trying to redirect attention onto himself. Okay, so with that, we are at Alden's turn. So, what is Alden doing, chat? Oh, actually, you know what? Sorry. Let me reset that. We'll go with your turn first. Because you are still conscious and you are inside the creature. Whether or not you get regurgitated may make a huge difference. So you are inside this creature's throat still. You are trying to get some kind of purchase with the blade. As Christian has pointed out, as a bonus action, you do have access to your healing surge. It has to be about him with the strength guy. Yeah, such a fucking selfish prick. Never does anything for anyone else. Okay, I believe you still have 2 charges left. So, I'm going to close the vote real quick. Are you going to use 1 or 2 charges of your healing surge? At this point, with desperation being what it is, I personally advise that you don't start trying to reserve resources. But it is entirely up to you. One-third? Oh, do you only have 1? Oh shit, you're right. You're right, you only have 1. Sorry, so it's only 1. My fault. Thank you for pointing that out, Avenger. I'm sure everybody's perfectly happy that you've done that. So you heal for 6 damage. So you're back up to 9, which is good because you would have taken 3 damage. So you only heal to 6 technically. We are now on... with your action. What are you doing as your action? I'm assuming we're attacking, right? Okay. Opening the giveaway with your sword attack. Closing the vote. Okay, so you know if you land this attack, you will be able to free yourself. I should have been doing concentration checks on Hunter's Mark, but honestly, at this point, I don't care. Attack bonus from Shadow Squared. Okay, so this is going to have a total of plus 10 to hit, which means you only need to roll 2 or higher to hit this creature. Closing the giveaway. Max. Okay, Max. What have you got with that attack roll? 2 or higher. Okay, so you hit the creature. Again, you slice out at its throat. And you are regurgitated once more. I'll put you here. That is your turn. It is now Alden. No, Alden doesn't get to do that because I remember Alden as a bonus action. So Alden continues to dodge attacks, bringing us to Alaric. Alaric is going to attempt another attack. Oh, shit, you're right, Max. Oh, no, we have to roll again. We have to roll again. Right, Christian. 2 or higher. Easy. Okay, so with that, the timeline remains intact. And you are freed from the creature's mouth. Also, because I remembered I didn't discuss this. So technically, for anybody who is keeping track of the exact rules of D&D, Creatures are supposed to take acid damage at the beginning of their turn when swallowed by a creature, but I personally don't like that. So I decide that it happens at the end of their turn so that people have a chance to actually affect the outcome. So that's a ruling on my part, just in case anyone looks back at this and is like, wait, this character should have died here. I don't care. That's a personal choice by me as the DM. So anyway, you are vomited up from this creature. And we are now on Alaric, who is going to attempt to make those attack rolls. Alaric, come on, dude. So Alaric, you can hear the building up of arcane energy. You can see cracks through this creature's exterior of this magic coalescing, but then it doesn't actually manifest and do any damage. Bringing us to number 5. Number 5 is going to attempt to attack Trank. Wait, no, sorry. It's going to attempt to attack Owlden, so it needs to make the wisdom saving throw. We'll use the same roll. So does succeed. So does attack Owlden. And hits. So Owlden takes... first of all, I need a dexterity saving throw from you, chat. As Owlden is possibly about to be swallowed. But regardless of that, I believe... Yeah, okay. Closing the dice giveaway. Avenger, hit us with the roll, please. This is with a +2, I believe. Yes. Okay, so... as the maw comes down around Owlden, piercing in to Owlden's skin, Owlden just manages to roll out of the mouth, wriggling before scraping along the teeth. When Owlden falls to the ground, Owlden is unconscious, but has not been swallowed. That brings us to... that one. Okay, we are now on Roga's turn. So, this is the deciding dice roll. The last saving throw for Roga. Success or failure will possibly dictate Roga's fate. Yo, Rhythm, what's up, dude? Good to see you. What have you got? Okay. Closing the dice giveaway. Gene. 10 or higher, buddy. What's it gonna be? Okay. So, with 3 successes, Roga, still at 0 hit points, still unconscious, stabilizes and no longer needs to make death saving throws. That does not mean that Roga is currently conscious, but it does mean that Roga is not immediately at risk of death. So that brings us to number 6. Number 6 is going to attempt to attack Trank. So let's see if they hit. Oh, come on, Dicebot. That's a dick move. Okay, so... Fuck. What is happening? This encounter does not want you to succeed. Okay, I need to calculate the damage for this. Oh, wait, no, hang on a second. I just remembered something, chat. This worm got its tail stuck in the ground in the previous round, so it has disadvantage on the attack roll. Because it rolled a natural 1. Yo, redemption arc, let's go. Let's go. It misses, let's go! Okay. You could check the VOD, it was right there. Okay, so thanks to a little bit of a memory lapse there, everything's fine. So the creature seems as though it is about to deal a possibly fatal blow to Trink, but Trink at the very last second just managed to get the shield off and puts himself at such an angle that as the creature slams down onto him, it kind of slides off his shield and the momentum carries down. The creature smashes face first into the floor below, cracking the area around him, loosening rock. And you can just hear Trink just whimper, realizing how potentially fatal that blow could have been. We are then at Trink's turn. So, Trink is going to attempt to attack target number 5. Hits. Trink deals full damage against this creature, so that is... Where are you? 5 points of piercing damage. This worm now is flailing back and forth. When it rears itself up, you can see that its body is almost kind of collapsing in on itself. Like the tendons and the spine of this creature is struggling to stay taut and contracted, keeping this creature upright. It just kind of like rears up and then kind of flops down to one side. It is very clearly on its last... I'm not going to say last legs. That's just silly. We are now on Alden's turn. Alden needs to make a death saving throw. So, exclamation mark dice to enter. And we will see if we can get another natural 20. Wouldn't that be a beautiful thing? Okay, here we go. Closing the dice roll. Christian. Okay, Christian, come on, man. I have every bit of faith here. You've been so consistently fantastic today. Surely... Oh, okay, yeah, it's easy. Absolutely easy. So 1 success. It's big, it's big. That brings us then to your turn, chat. What are you going to do? So it is your turn. You have this beast right in front of you. You can switch to your bow if you want to. Remember, you have the close quarters shooting fighting style, so you can attack with your bow at close range. What would you like to do with your action? This creature in front of you is very weak on the point of collapse. Is the cat still swallowed? Yes. Alaric has been unable to free himself. So remember, the correct syntax is like attack underscore... well, actually, no, I think it's item underscore attack underscore number. But as long as they all more or less tell us the same thing, then we'll go with it. I feel like we're better off finishing 1 and having half as much risk. That's definitely a point, yeah. We don't know if people are going to agree, but that's definitely a good point. So currently we are thinking about moving our attacks over to target number 6. Yeah, it's a good point. It's a good point. Do nothing. Avenger. Come on now. Okay, so... you choose to attack number 6. I need an attack roll, please, from you, chat. So exclamation mark dice to enter. see if you can start weakening this other worm, which up until this point has not taken any damage. Closing the giveaway. Savannah, please give us our roll. This will not get Hunter's Mark damage. 18, easy hit. Okay, so you do 12 points of damage to this worm, empowered by your braces of archery that you have recently acquired. You take a huge chunk of this creature's health as you instinctively turn, realizing that Alaric is nowhere to be seen. You fire a shot. As the creature looks towards you, it goes straight into the mouth and up into the top of the flesh inside. And the creature shrieks and recoils away from you. We are now on Alaric's turn. So, Alaric is going to try and do the last chromatic orb that he can do today with disadvantage. Nope. Fuck's sake. Okay, so Alaric, desperately trying to pull off some kind of escape, but failing nonetheless, expends his last first level spell slot for the day. Actually, his last spell slot for the day, full stop, and does not find any joy from it whatsoever. We are then on Purple Worm number 5. Purple Worm number 5 is going to attempt to attack Trink. Misses with the bite attack. Tries to follow up with the tail. Misses with the tail attack as well. So, both the bite slamming into the ground where the previous worm had impacted and the tail swinging around, clanging off the shield, Trank is successfully deflecting these blows as he had hoped. Then we are on... Roga is stabilized, but turn skipped. We're on to number 6. Number 6 is going to attempt to attack... Yeah, it's going to attempt to attack you because you just fired a arrow into its throat. Misses with the bite attack, but hits with the tail attack. Okay, so that is enough to take you unconscious. So the bite misses, and you feel relief for a brief second before the tail swings around, hits you in the back, and pierces into your armor, and you feel the venom begin to flow into your system. I'm not going to bother rolling for the poison damage because you're already unconscious from the attack, and it still counts as the same thing. So, we are then at Trenk. Trenk is going to move around, positioning himself in the center of the ruckus with Alden, is going to cast a first level Cure Wounds on you. So you are back to 8 plus. You are back to 5 hit points. As you momentarily black out from the pain, you feel Trenk's warm touch on your arm as you are pulled back to standing position before falling to the ground. I need another death saving throw for Alden, please. We are currently on 1 success. Okay. Gonna close the giveaway pretty soon here. Closing the giveaway. Christian. All right, Christian, what have you got? $14, another success. All right, it is now your turn, chat. What would you like to do? Alaric is still within the creature's maw, seemingly still doing something. So still up, still trying, but ultimately failing. And you have these two targets, both of them slightly weakened now, with number 5 still being the weakest of the two. Okay, so we've got 2 votes for 5 right now. So an attack on 5, if you landed it, would be a finishing blow. An attack on 6 would be an attempt to get closer to freeing Alaric from the jaws of this creature. Okay, so deciding to attack number 5, I need an attack roll to see if you can finish it off. You're confident if you can land a blow against this creature, it will finish it, and it will be one less threat to deal with. Okay, closing the giveaway. Oh, attack bonus. Okay, very, very nice. Thank you for squeezing that in there. So you feel this spirit energy coalescing in you once more. The frequency of this happening over the course of this encounter starting to unsell your mind somewhat. You're starting to hear voices that seem to be calling to you from some unknown space, directing your actions and attempting to help you, doing your best to ignore the voices that seem like they aren't. Closing the giveaway. All right, Shadow squared. It's with the attack roll. It's the mushrooms. You're just having this whole thing is just a wild trip. Okay, so with the attack bonuses that you have, that brings that to a 6 and then plus 8 to 14, and you hit the purple worm with this attack. Good job. So with that, as the creature comes down towards you, you duck down, bracing yourself, shoot a single arrow that goes up through the top of the creature's mouth, and you hear it pierce all the way through. You hear it impact into the stony skin at the back. This dull kind of clanking sound, this impact. And then the creature falls flat to your side. All right. So now there is one enemy left on the field. We are on Alaric's turn. Alden, Alaric. Okay, Alaric. What are you doing, Alaric? What are you doing with your life? What can Alden do from in here? On save? Nah. Okay. Not that I think it's going to make a whole lot of difference, but trying to use a firebolt spell from within. Oh, wait. No, never mind. Alaric tries to fire off a lesser fire-themed spell, but unfortunately, again, not managing to kind of wrestle himself free enough to position his paws correctly. It's already difficult enough casting spells as someone without thumbs, but not having full access to the movement of his body is unable to pull off these spells correctly. Then that is another 3 damage to you. Alaric surprisingly doing a decent job of keeping himself alive. We are now on Roga's fine. Worm number 6. Worm number 6 is going to attempt to attack Trank. Rolls a natural 1 on the bite attack, so the second one has disadvantage as it makes it completely blind. Okay, so does not hit. So first it tries to chomp down on Trank, and the teeth just scrape off the armor, but it seems to get stuck on Trank momentarily. Trank instinctively kind of reaches up with the shield and kind of sticks it in between a series of the teeth, getting it lodged there for a moment. It tries to swing around with the tail, but it can't really constrict its body at the right angle, and the tail just goes completely wide, slamming behind him as he uses the creature's size against it. We are then at Trenk's turn. Trenk is going to attempt to attack the creature. Hits, dealing 5 points of piercing damage with the spear. We are then at Alden's turn. Okay. Oh, yeah, 5 is gone. Yeah, true. Let me remove that for you. So this is another death saving throw for Alden. Two successes, yeah. So you need another 10 or higher to stabilize Alden, and they would no longer need to make death saves. Or it could take a little bit longer if we get some failures. Closing the giveaway. Christian, hit us with that saving throw, please. I'm worried about this because Christian has rolled consistently high, so eventually it's got to go downhill, right? Dude, how you just keep rolling 17s? You're the most consistent dice roller I've ever seen in my life. You'd love to see it. That's what you need in moments like this. So, with 3 successes, Alden stabilizes, but is not conscious. So, we are on your turn, chat. What would you like to do? I don't know why that didn't show up. VoteBot's being a bit weird tonight, I think. Or it's probably my stream deck. So, what would you like to do? It is your turn. You have your action and your bonus action available. Because you just killed the creature, you can move your hunter's mark onto target number 6 before you attack, as you do still have that spell available. So this will not cost you any extra resources. I'll take it that you're gonna move the mark and then attack afterwards. Okay, yeah. Cool. So we have 3 different versions of the same thing. So you mark the target and then you make your attack roll. So give me that attack roll, please. If you hit, this will do a devastating 15 damage. Pretty big. If we hit. Yeah, if. Listen, it's a big if. Closing the giveaway. Any attack bonus? Oh, any attack bonus in chat? I'll give it a moment. Nah. It's on cooldown. That makes sense. Closing the giveaway. Max, what do you got? So you need a 4 or higher to hit on the dice roll. Come on, Max. Oh, yeah. Okay. So with a clean strike, you shoot once into its side. It flies through one side of this creature's hide and then out of the other. And the arrow kind of limply falls to the ground on the other side of it. You hear this clattering as it hits the ground. As you do 15 points of damage straight through this creature's back. It is now looking desperate. Seeing its fallen sibling, possibly, is now kind of just spinning around on the spot, trying to figure out what its next move is. It's not a terribly intelligent creature, but all creatures have fear and desperation when cornered in a situation like this. We are now on Alaric, who is going to attempt another attack from within the creature. Come on, buddy. Okay. It's looking good. Okay. Nope, it's not. It's looking so bad. Alaric, you can hear this just hissing and scratching and desperate pleas for help. It's just, help me! As it's trying to escape, but he is not managing whatsoever. We are now at the worm's turn. Okay, yeah. So the worm sort of seems to take in its surroundings and then lets out another one of these haunting, bellowing, rumbling roars. And there's this moment of unsettling silence. I'm going to say that is its action. This long, drawn-out call for something that you're not able to see. Trenk's turn. Trenk is going to attempt to attack. Hits. Dealing 5 points of damage. The creature now is barely managing to maintain any kind of verticality. It's now resembling more of a regular but oversized worm that's just kind of squirming on the ground. We are now at your turn, chat. What are we doing? The creature is almost dead. It is squirming. It is very clearly called out for something. The recap is not accurate, Cass. As you can see. Busy mod day. It is what it is. People have got shit to do. And I haven't had a break to update it, so... Okay, choosing to attack. I need an attack roll from you, please, my friends. What's it gonna be? This could well be the final blow. You are aware something may be coming. You feel a similar sensation, this rumbling in your stomach of this low-frequency drone so deep that you're barely able to perceive aspects of it, but you're aware that some vibration has been sent down into the ground. Closing the giveaway. Sokite. Okay, Sokite. You need at least a 4 to hit this creature to deal the final blow. The redemption arc. It starts now. Yes! He's done it! Okay. So, you shoot off one final shot as the creature starts to bear down on you. You shoot up once into the mouth, then a second time, then a 3rd time. Realizing how desperate the situation is, you keep firing off arrows until your quiver is almost empty. The creature falls limp to the ground. There's a few moments of peace before you start to hear a deeper rumbling coming from somewhere in the distance. A violent vibration of the ground before you. We are out of initiative, but you are aware that something is coming. Something much larger and no doubt more dangerous. So you have a couple of brief moments here to contemplate what you're going to do. Something is coming. You have killed the chief. You have weakened the Vegapygmies' numbers. I'm going to ask you to give me another nature check. No bully, Avenger. No bully. It's just a narrative thing. It's fine. Okay, closing the giveaway. Yes. All right, Cass. This is going to have a total of a +6 to the roll. Okay, so with a 15. Okay, so as you have a brief moment to contemplate what is happening around you, the situation you found yourself in, you have no doubt that this creature was calling for something. And given the intensity of the vibrations that you feel, you assume it's possibly the mother of this creature or some kind of greater entity. Perhaps it's more of a general call to some kind of creature aligned with this one. Perhaps any worm, any creature of the same type to come and aid its cry. Something is coming. And whatever this creature is, probably is not under control by anything, so is going to wreak absolute havoc. There is a lot of things in this area. Of that, there's no doubt. There are a series of creatures in cages here. Most of them appear to be stored for some kind of ritual, perhaps, that Alaric was next in line for. So you do have a number of live creatures over here. There's a mixture of wolves and other trapped beasts. All of them seem worse for wear, suffering from russet mold infection. You're aware that you cannot save all of them, if possibly any of them, and make it out alive yourselves. You free Alaric. Alaric kind of crawls out from slices and holes in its in the creature's hide, covered in acid, some of the fur burnt away, but nonetheless expresses gratitude for possibly the first time for saving his life. Given the growing intensity of the vibrations, you would guess that you have about 30 seconds until this creature arrives. This larger purple worm. So what are you gonna do? Currently, Roga is unconscious. Alden is unconscious. Accept fate. That's dark, bruv. Leg it. Okay, so between leg it and get the fuck out, you realize in this situation, you've done more than you possibly should have. The situation definitely took a very dangerous turn. And you already have 2 allies who are currently unconscious, and you do not have the time to tend to their wounds. At this point, Trenk has used up all of his healing magic that he has access to over the course of the day. So you will need to escape with your companions, carrying them as you go, which will slow your travel. So you decide to try and make your escape. Let me just group everybody up. So you do your best to split, carrying various people, objects. Right now, you have to carry Roga, essentially strapping Roga's arms around your chest like a cape, as you are the stronger out of yourself and Trenk. Do you have time to use our spell slots to wake up Roga and Alden? How many spell slots do you have? Actually, that's a good point. You've used another one. You have 1 spell slot. I hadn't updated. You used a Hunter's Mark in that combat, and I just hadn't marked it off the list. So you technically have 1 spell left. So you can wake somebody up. Healing surge should also be 0. Thank you. Yeah, I need to find a better way to track resources because it's like there are too many things for me to do right now. I should maybe try and make it something that mods can update or some shit. Okay, so let's put it to a vote real quick. With your last healing magic, your cure wounds, who are you going to heal? Alden only used 1. Yeah, but you can't use healing surge while you're unconscious, so. And you can't heal other people with it. So the healing surge will not help you at this point in time. Alden is lighter than Roga. Oh yeah, 100%. Roga is fairly athletically built. So this is not only just a matter of like playing favorites, it's literally a matter of survival. In the time that you have available, you need to make sure you're offering yourself and your group the best chances at escaping with everybody alive. Okay, so choosing to heal Roga, which, for the record, I think was the right decision. You rouse Roga to his sentences. Roga reaches down, picks up the statue of Hugo. You reach down and grab Alden, and your group begins their desperate attempt to outrun whatever this creature is. Just organize here. That's cute. That looks perfect. Landria, Alden. All right. Yeah, Doggo is still petrified. That's why Roga is carrying. Okay. Alaric is chasing behind. So, your group begins their escape. As you run, you continue to hear the rumbling getting ever closer. This creature seemingly moving faster through the rock than you are running with the creatures that you're currently carrying. You do not encounter any other creatures as you make a run for the exit. However, you realize as you approach that the tunnels are starting to let loose rubble from the ceilings. And as you approach the exit, a number of rocks begin to fall into this area. I am going to need dexterity saving throws to see if you are able to both dodge the rubble and also make it into the tunnel in time before the rubble closes it off. So, exclamation mark dice to enter. Because you are carrying other creatures, your escape is slower, and this has resulted in a predicament of sorts that you will have to overcome. Your saving throw here is a +7. I need to roll for Roga as well. Okay. So closing the giveaway. Okami Tigers. Hit us with that roll, please. It will be a +7 to the result. Best of luck, Okami. Okay, beautiful. Okay, so with a dirty 20, Roga lags a little bit behind you as you move, and you try your best to duck, weave between the falling rubble, some larger sections, almost boulder size, falling down and almost catching Roga. As you look behind, and there are moments where you are really worried that Roga is not going to make it, and you contemplate shouting to Roga to leave the statue behind and make a break for it. But Roga is determined and refuses to let go of his charge, and only just barely makes it into the tunnel as rocks collapse behind you, closing off the entrance. But the structure as it is now does not seem to be collapsing with you in it. As you make your way back through, you can hear the rolling lament of some large, monstrous creature back from where you came, but it doesn't seem as though it is currently giving chase. So, with your successful escape from the burrows, you soon find yourself back on the surface. As this happens, you have to duck and weave out of the way of the animated tree's branches as it swings down towards you. Luckily, this creature on its own, not doing enough to threaten you immediately, but you're thankful for a moment that all of you are together as you, again, duck and weave out of the branch's reach, and you start darting into the forest. You are outrunning 2 sentries that you had avoided earlier as well, just managing to find a hiding place out of their line of sight, and you wait for them to pass. You take a rest for some time. Unfortunately, you do not have the resources available to heal yourselves, but it does afford you a brief respite as you regain your stamina and get ready for whatever journey lies in store. We will call the session here at just under 4 hours. And next session, we will pick up with you returning to the Hunter's Lodge to collect your rewards, and possibly back to the town itself to collect your rewards for the thief mission, and to see where your journey will go from here, as you have all managed to survive by a hair what was a very chaotic and dangerous encounter under the forest. So, good job, everyone. Hey, you did it! Another session survived, albeit barely. I'm out of focus. There we go. That got so ridiculously close, dude. What the